Good afternoon, Numi Nation. If you are tuning in live, I apologize. Today was probably the worst technical glitch I've had so far, and we're on episode 15. I had everything tested and ready. If you tuned into episode 14, you saw that I brought in kind of a live conversation interview with Miss Kristen from the PHP. And today I had a special guest lined up for an interview, and I was struggling and wrestling with the technology. So I decided that that would have to be a problem I solve between now and next week. And we'll bring that special guest in on Monday. And in the meantime, we'll go live right now and end our day and our week. Kind of special to do this episode on Friday afternoon because it's rather than just summarizing up the day, it's like we get to look back at the entire week and kind of like the magical 3 week mark for New Minds TV, which is super exciting for us. So, this morning in the PHP, that's the parent power hour, by the way. You're not in with the lingo yet? Come on, people. Okay. So one of the themes of the PHP this morning with Miss Kristen was gratitude. One of the themes of the opening with Mr. Justin, to start the day, was wonder, right? The wonder song. If you haven't noticed yet, week 3, it's a Friday theme, right? Wonder is a Friday theme. It's always been that way at New Minds, at summer camps and newminds.tv. That theme carries forward. Wonder. Why? Because we believe that curiosity is the actual fuel for all learning, right? Curiosity is the fuel, not just for learning, but for passion. And where there's passion, where there's learning, you've got all the stuff you need to make things happen in the world, to advance, to evolve, and to grow. And that's really the fuel for New Minds TV as well. So what a cool way to kind of culminate week 3. We're bringing 2 powerful themes together, which is wonder and curiosity, and then gratitude with Miss Kristen. And just kind of watching throughout the day. Today was one of those days where I got to watch quite a bit of newminds.tv stream, and I just saw so much magic, so much authenticity happening throughout the day. I saw Mr. Dorian was testing reflexes, right? And in his afternoon STEAM class. And so cool, because one of the challenges right now, as we're sort of very physically limited, right? Some people have said hey, now you know how zoo animals feel, right? Like our perimeters are very defined and limited. How do we stay in physical shape? So I thought Mr. Dorian's lesson about reflexes is very poignant. Mr. Adam today, what a fantastic culmination for one of his journeys. Traveling side by side on a quest with Hercules himself and overcoming all kinds of challenges. And the beauty of role play, the way our game masters do it here at New Minds, is that it's so deeply interactive and it's so empowering to the player. There's so many decision points where you are sculpting your own story based on your decisions. So I saw that today. Like I said, Mr. Justin this morning kicked us off. Miss Kristen set that foundation of gratitude. And then it's just steam, fun, engagement, interaction. Mr. T, one of our classic inspirators, made his premiere on New Minds TV with a super cameo in the Afternoon Vault series today alongside Mr. Justin. A fantastic classic project called Zentangles, and combining that with some other challenges. So really, what more is there to say except just a big thank you to the world for kind of embracing this creation that we wanted to put out there for you, and validating and confirming to us that it indeed is rich, it indeed is valuable, and you've told us loud and clear that this is something that we need to carry forward and evolve. And believe me, it's exactly what we're doing. We're so many things are underway to expand this platform and to make it even more powerful, that we hope we're going to knock your socks off soon, even more. Okay? So exciting. So what I want to do to kind of culminate Homeschool Hacks Week, like I said, due to technical difficulties, which I did tackle for 10 minutes. That's why I was 10 minutes late getting on. I had to let it go. But due to technical difficulties, I could not bring in my special guest. She will indeed come back next week, so don't worry. Instead, what I'm going to do is just a very simple kind of like week review, because I threw a lot of tools at you this week, a lot of little gems that really bear repeating. And if you missed any of those, this little 5-minute summary that I'll give will kind of like trigger if you need to go back to one of those days and watch that whole episode. They're not long, right? They're not long. I dig right in. I pull some kind of concept and then I boil it down specifically for you for a homeschool environment. Okay? All right. Miss Kelly from East Texas, the superstar of East Texas, has just chimed in. She is on board this afternoon. Wonder, curiosity, gratitude. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Miss Kelly, for that confirmation and validation. So let me talk you through this week a little bit. So, all the conversations that we're having with everybody, give us clues about what the world needs right now. And that's the goal of New Minds TV, is to give the world some of what it needs. From the very beginning, we've been saying, we're not doctors, so we can't help in that regard. There's lots of things that we're not, but there's one thing that we are at New Minds, and that is massively good at real inspired learning, right? That's what we can offer the world. So that's exactly what we're doing. And so the language that we're hearing as we converse with people on these topics is giving us insights into what you need, particularly for this slot designed for parents. What do parents in this new situation need to hear? So I constructed this week full of lessons and gems for you. Let's review. Monday, episode, let me do some backwards math, episode 11 on Monday. The topic was the Pareto principle, because I was getting this sense of overwhelm from parents, obviously, right? But in particular, overwhelm of any given day, I don't even know how to prioritize. I just wake up with this giant plate of stuff, not even my stuff, my kids' stuff. How do I prioritize and sort through this and maximize my energy and my kids' efforts, right? And so that's where the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, is so powerful, because what you can do is you look at your task list, you hone in on the 20% of those tasks, 20% of those tasks that are going to have the most bang and the best effect, that are going to give you 80% of your results. And then you prioritize, you put your energy there, you do those first thing in the morning. That's where your energy goes. That's where your peak energy goes. And that's going to get you some better efficiency in the effects. Mr. Justin followed up on Tuesday, going a little bit deeper into Pareto principle. So start the day, episode 12 would be a great one to catch as well. Okay. Then on Tuesday, another thing that I'm feeling and hearing is, just focus time. It's this multitasking thing to a new level, right? For you as the parent, and for your kid, bombarded, right? Especially since we're online, doing online learning, it's really hard to escape the notifications and the devices and things like that. And there's a real need in a developmental sense to give your child the opportunity for deep learning and deep processing. And one tool that I knew would be good for that is the Pomodoro principle, the Pomodoro technique, which it's been around since the late 80s, as I mentioned in episode 12 on Tuesday. But it's this real simple principle that you divide work into 25-minute chunks for like a full-grown adult, right? And these are your concentration units. And in between, you take breaks. But during your Pomodoro, you literally set a timer. You rock through those 25 minutes, your Pomodoro unit, and then you take a break. You reset. There's a process where you analyze a task ahead of time, and you ask yourself you estimate how many Pomodoro units is it going to take to complete this task. Then you just plan for that. Okay. And of course, I suggested and I provided some insights in episode 12 of how you can think about a Pomodoro unit for your kid. A kindergartner does not have a Pomodoro unit of 25 minutes, right? So you adjust that based on developmental age, but man, that's a good tool to test. I keep emphasizing this. You're in a laboratory right now. You're going to have to experiment and see what works for you. We got Mr. T chiming in. We got Miss Shay chiming in. So Mr. T, a little sidetrack. Hey, it's like a conversation, so we can get distracted, right? Mr. T is asking because we do indeed have some special features coming up. And Miss Kelly chiming in on this live session reminded us that we have a very special treat coming up for you very soon. So Miss Kelly lives out in East Texas on a ranch, and it's the spring. what happens out in nature and on ranches in the spring? Lots of babies are born of all sorts, right? And Miss Kelly has, well, I don't even want to spoil it. I'm not even going to spoil it, but Miss Kelly has taken us on a very special journey onto her ranch to experience some aspects of spring that are just awesome. I mean, sometimes awesome is just the word you want to use, that you need to use, right? So we have some special programming in store for you, which I believe is slated for premiere tomorrow. So someone online right now can probably confirm, and then I'll confirm live for you here. But keep an eye out for an announcement on the first New Minds TV special program, which will be out in East Texas. So cool stuff coming up. Okay. And I didn't lose my train of thought either. So episode 13, right? So we had the Pareto principle, we had the Pomodoro effect, and then on Wednesday, which would be episode 13, because I remember Wednesday the 13th for some reason. It's not a thing, but it's just stuck in my mind. We talked about the 1% rule, and it's from Atomic Habits, a really cool book about habit development and creating effective habits. Basically, it's this. If you just focus on improving 1% of a time, you get a compound effect of improvement. So as a parent, focus on 1% at a time. Remember the whole eat the elephant metaphor. Don't want to go into that again, but you remember that. Just focus on one chunk at a time, one bite at a time. That's all you got to do. You don't have to master calculus tomorrow, Mom. Just get long division down. Just get the next step of long division down. That's your 1%. Your life is going to be so much more relaxed and easy. Okay? All right. Oh, Miss Kelly's chiming in with hints. So if you're live, go check the comments. You might get a little insight into what's coming. And I think we have some confirmation that premiere is tomorrow. So watch for an official announcement. And of course, if you can't catch it live, New Minds TV, the beauty is it lives on forever on the site and even on Facebook. You can search and find it on Facebook. Okay. And then yesterday I brought in special guest, Miss Kristen from the Parent Power Hour, because there's so much overlap between what I was talking about this week and what she does every morning. And one of her focuses is kind of like EQ, emotional intelligence, self-regulation, transitioning, mindfulness, and things like this. Because I had mentioned on Wednesday that, man, all these tools that I'm giving you, if you don't have the right brain turned on, they're not that valuable. In other words, if you and your child have your fight or flight triggered, parts of your brain are literally shut off to the benefits of all these tools. So let's talk about getting into relaxation state. So man, go check out episode 14 from yesterday. Miss Kristen and I had a live conversation, and we kind of bounced back and forth and discussed some different methods to get into relaxation state, to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, and just, make the most of this time. And yeah, one of the resounding, images or concepts that I got from yesterday's talk was this concept of the parent being the mirror for the child. Like every word out of your mouth, every action, every piece of body language is a signal and a mirror for your child. They're learning, they're picking it up. And you're spending lots and lots of hours with them at a time right now. That's lots of learning, indirect learning. It's not just about the academic stuff you're doing in your homeschool learning. It's like that indirect stuff that you're modeling. Okay? And then really today, I was going to bring it all to a super exciting fine point with a special interview. But as I mentioned, technical difficulties, that's okay. I encourage you to tune in, however, to episode 16 on Monday, because that's when we will have our special guest. And we're going to kind of bring Homeschool Hack Week to a head there, because I'm bringing in an expert, a master of homeschooling. It's someone who's been doing it for years and years and years, who has a lot to offer the world right now, because there's lots of wisdom to share from someone who has, kind of mastered this type of learning, not just with her personal kids, but managing homeschool groups for years and years and years, and communities, and kind of bringing all that knowledge to the table for us now who find ourselves in it as a new situation. Okay? So check in the comment feed here. If you haven't gotten the clue from Miss Kelly, it's right there. And I think I have confirmation that the New Minds Nature Saturday special is coming mañana. which is tomorrow. Okay. So that is super exciting. I love how these layers of features just keep getting added. We had our second pre-STEAM Explorers happening today. Gosh, guys, if you have pre-K kiddos, we have some magical presenters. That's our team in Austin, actually. They're our area directors in Austin. It's Miss Ari and Miss Sophia. Their background actually is in pre-K education. They're really good. They have a great dynamic together, and the way they kind of interact with the pre-K kiddos, even through the videos, it's just like, it's so beautiful and so nice. So if you have pre-K kiddos, I recommend giving that show a try. And who knows what's next? It depends on what the world tells us. Is it another language? Is it another topic? Is it another special? We'll have to see. So with that, I'm happy and excited to wrap up this Friday. Episode 15 of New Minds TV. The journey has just begun. It's real inspired learning for all. And it's here to help us pursue our passions until pretty soon you're going to be finishing that for us, right? Until it becomes your talent. All right, y'all. Have a super weekend. Tune in to New Minds Nature tomorrow, our Saturday special. Let us know what you think. Always keep that feedback coming. Keep those shares going. Tell the world it's a free resource for everybody. Okay? Have happy weekend.